Hello, I'm Anthony Lau, a technical marketing engineer at Cisco Systems. Welcome to the BNG IPOE with QoS 64,000 subscriber scale demo on the ASR 9000.
So let's take a look at the QoS configuration on the router before we start. So you can see here we have sub A input. It calls a secondary policy called sub child input new as a policer value set, and it has child conform aware configured. On the output side, we have sub A output, and it calls a secondary policy called sub child output. So first, we have sub child input new, which and it has a policer value set as well as the conform action and exceed action. On the output side, we have the sub child output, and you can see we have 4 classes configured: the EF, the H2, AF11, and default class. We have 2 control policies configured here. One is hybrid 1, one is hybrid 2. Hybrid 1 calls the dynamic template called IP sub 1 and applies a QoS policy to it. And also hybrid 2 calls IP sub 2 and also applies the same QoS policy to its subscribers. So now let's take a look at the dynamic template that it's calling. So we can see here IP sub 1 utilizes loopback 11, IP sub 2 uses loopback 12, and the reason why we do that is we have each loopback service 32,000 subscribers. And each of those subscribers will get applied this QoS policy called sub A input and sub A output. Here we're using Exia to generate our IPOE sessions. Exia is also acting as our DHCP server. You can see here we have 2 servers set up, and each of those servers are actually generating 32,000 addresses each. On the client side, here we're going to go ahead and start each of these our clients, and you can see here we have a total of 8 clients. Each of those clients are going to generate 8,000 IPOE sessions for a total of 64,000 sessions. Okay, and you can look over here on our IPOE. You can see the call setup rate. We have 8 sessions going. And so it's roughly about 70, maybe 60 calls per second here. Sometimes it gets up to 80. You can see right there. Okay, and you can see that our account for the IPO subscribers are still going up, and it's going to take a little while to reach 64,000. So we're a little more than halfway through bringing up all the subscribers now. You can see between the 8 interfaces here that we have 5,000 between them, so probably a little over 40,000. I did some checking earlier on how many subscribers up, but let's check it again right now. So you can see here we see about 43,300, 43,500, and it's still moving up. So that number is in line with the Exia, what Exia is saying, how many subscribers that we currently have up. So now we're getting to the end here, and we're about 7,900 on some interfaces. Now 2 of them just finished, and we're about 78 on the 8 of the finishes. Third one just finished there. So when it finishes, the Exia just says negotiated. So that means all 8,000s have completed a negotiation. In other words, all 8,000 IPOE subscribers are up in those cases. So we got a few more interfaces to wait to finish up. So we're almost there. Last couple few are at 7,900 now. They're just about to finish up, and there it goes, last one. So now we have all 64,000 IPOE subscribers generated to the ASR 9000. So now let's take a look at the router itself. And you can see now that the router has 64,000 subscriber sessions up. Let's take a little bit more detail on each of the subscribers. And let's do a show subscriber session all. And as you can see here, we can see all the different subscribers with the IP addresses and so forth. So now let's take a look at one of these interfaces in detail. Let's take a look at interface number 7 here, IP7, and you can see here that the details of this this IPOE session. And you can see we call it the dynamic QoS policy, and it succeeded. Okay, so let's look at the QoS policy for this particular interface. And let's do that by doing a show policy map interface in the bundle Ethernet 100.1.IP7. So you can see here we have the sub A input and the sub chow input new. Those are the input policies that we set up earlier. And on the output side, we have sub A output, and it has a sub child input, and then you can see all the different queues in there. Okay, let's randomly pick another one. Let's say 15. Okay, so you can see here that one also has an input policy as well as output policies. In other words, every subscriber of all 64,000 has both input and output subscriber QoS policy. So now that we have all 64,000 subscriber sessions set up, let's do something useful with it. Let's go ahead and set up some traffic streams so we can go ahead and send traffic across those subscribers we just set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to send it from our host interface, interface 3, to all 64,000 subscribers. So we're going to go ahead and set up traffic to each of the separate clients on each of the interface. Remember, each client that you see there has 8,000 extra subscribers on it, so for a total of all 64,000. Okay, we just got a few more items here to go through and set up. And we're going to turn on our flow tracking so we can track the packets going across the system. Okay, we're going to apply it. As soon as that's done, we'll start generating the traffic. Just be aware that there's a delta field in the packet flow, and that usually shows up as like a 2 or 3, which means the difference between the sent and the receive. That's just that just means that those are the in-transit packets that hasn't been received yet. So we want to look at the percentage loss actually. So you see here we got the packet being transmitted, packets received. Numbers will kick in just in a sec, and you see the percentage loss there is 0. And we're sending traffic through all 64,000 subscribers.